Oh, it's an old matchbox. What does that say? There's some sort of creepy mystery up here.
Is that like an old sheet?
I don't know.
Is it going to be like a dead body?
I hope not.
An uninsurable historic farmhouse, a rundown country store, 2.5 acres of pure potential. In November of 2025, my wife Jen and I found exactly what we didn't know we were looking for in Deltaville, Virginia. As recent empty nesters with a serious DIY itch, we couldn't resist the laid-back vibe, the incredible sailing, and the chance to build a gathering place for family and friends. Welcome to the BSR Adventures podcast. This is the story of what happens next.
Tell us what's in store for today.
We're going to install our water pump filter. So we decided to keep the well water system going. And we ordered this fancy, I don't know, fancy might be the wrong word. We ordered a basic carbon? I'm just making stuff up here. All I know is a giant box arrived at our house in Norfolk yesterday, and we're gonna use it to filter our well water, and we hope it'll make the water taste much better because it's
Here,
got a little bit of a strange flavor.
I'm gonna bring in a sample of our current drinking water.
It's clean.
It's clear. It certainly wasn't clear when we first did our walkthrough, but it's got a strong smell of iron, and
Yeah, we've been hauling
Yeah, it's
jugs of Norfolk water up here.
you want to give it a taste test.
Well, there's nothing to compare it to yet. I don't think it's called a test.
Well, just
until you get to do it.
give her your reaction. A neighbor of ours said that his well water was great. We were thinking about switching to county water, which costs about $12,000 just to have the water meter put in, and then possibly another $5,000 to $10,000 just to have a plumber connect the water meter to the house. So given that cost, we were like, all right, well, how bad is the well water really? So we have most of our neighbors are on wells, and Captain Don, one of our neighbors, was bragging about how he has not a water softener, but an oxidizing filter, something that injects air into the water and then causes the iron and manganese to sediment out. And he said that his water is great.
Best water he's ever had.
Best water he's ever had.
Anywhere in the world.
And he's lived in a lot of places.
Yeah.
And he lives just through the woods. So this is the Pro Aqua, and it doesn't have a softener. It just has this this digital head basically that goes on a giant canister that contains a filter medium, and this head, I guess, does the oxidizing part, and it has a flushing, like a backflow, so you can clean your filter, or you can clean the medium on some cycle if you want, and it'll like just clean itself out. And so apparently these can last like 5 to 10 years without the need to replace anything. So and this cost us $700, $750. And so that's going to save us 20 grand, and we think $60 to $70 a month water bill that we won't have to pay. So let's see if we can get it installed, though. Our existing pump system is a bit of PEX spaghetti, so we're going to have to get in there and figure out how to get everything to fit. On the intake side, this is the intake side here, and then this is the outflow side here. So the outflow comes down and it branches, but it has to connect back to the pressure tank. So there's like water comes out of the pump, and then it fills against a diaphragm. So inside this blue cylinder, there's a rubber diaphragm that pushes back as it fills with water, and it increases in pressure as it pushes back because it's elastic, and so it gets up to whatever the PSI rating is for drinking water, for regular tap water, and it holds a reservoir of pressurized water in this tank, right? So that needs to be in front of the filter unit. So the filter unit's going to be, you know, connected up here, and it's going to have, you know, a pipe in and a pipe out, and then it's going to need to connect back into the rest of the system. So the part we need to figure out is how do we go from the far side of the pump ballast, I guess that's what we might call it, the pressure ballast, something like that. So from down there into this system and then back out again.
Okay.
All right, so in the spirit of being thrifty, I've been trying to reuse the various PEX fittings from the old setup, which is you know, it's not a trivial amount of work to get these out. So if they've been,
How much do these type of things cost?
oh, I don't know, they're like 10-15 bucks each. Some of them, so, yeah, I mean, some of them are like a valve like that can be as much as 20 bucks. All right, so about 30 seconds of heat gun, it just comes right out. All right, we need a 3/4 PEX male 3-way junction. Some T's we need. How many of these? We need 1, 2, 3 of these.
You having fun yet?
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. We're trying to put a well pump filtration system into an existing well pump setup.
Okay.
That was built in a lot of different, very creative
A lot of that.
iterations. Yeah, clearly somebody was spent a lot of time in this section. Right now, I'm trying to solve the 1-inch female iron pipe to 3/4 PEX problem. So this is 1 inch to 1 inch.
I got them over there.
Okay.
They're in my brass stuff.
Okay.
Unless you want galvanized.
No, brass would be, I think, better because we're not mixing metals. You are the most helpful guy in the world. I mean, seriously, every time. Yeah.
The good news with PEX is that if your whole boat's PEX, you'll never not need a fitting, especially common fittings, couplings,
Yeah.
90s.
You assume I'm doing this on a boat.
I am.
No, this is a house.
Is it really?
Yeah, this is a house that behaves like a boat. Yeah.
Should have guessed. You said well house.
Yeah, no, you know this old the old farmhouse and country store on have you ever been out
Absolutely.
Okay.
On the left-hand side
Yeah.
with the house behind it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
bought that.
Yeah,
I
we
had a friend that used to live there a long time ago.
okay.
Before they re-updated a lot of it, I guess y'all are the ones re-updating it because it looks a lot better than it did. The last time I was there,
Oh.
the floors were kind of at like a 45.
That's interesting because now our perception is that the last folks didn't do that much with it. Like
If the floors are flat, they did.
They're not.
they're not flat. I mean,
Okay.
well,
Because it felt like one
not.
of the funny houses.
yes.
Yeah.
When you walked into it, it was just like your perception was skewed real bad.
Yeah, the farmhouse is still like that.
It's
Okay,
still,
yeah.
it's still
Yeah.
like that. So we're,
Yeah, and
but
we're-
we just bought it in February, so
Congrats.
nothing much has happened yet. But
It's a really old house, and it's in a very beautiful location. Y'all have
Yeah, it is
is the
beautiful.
apple tree still behind y'all?
I don't
There used
know.
to be
We've
apple trees
only
back
been
there.
here
I know
in
you got
winter.
deer running through your backyard.
Oh, a lot, and coyotes.
As a hunter.
So these flexible tubes are going to go on the back of the control head, and then I have to be able to reduce them down to 3/4 PEX. So we're going to have this bushing, I think it's called, and I'm not doing Teflon tape on this because it has a washer fitting in here, and so you want it to seat. The seal that it makes is made because it seats firmly against the washer, not because of the threads. Looking good. So those are going to go there once this thing's actually in the room. I'm not going to do it just yet because it's going to make things awkward if I do it now. And then we've got an inner O-ring here, and we're supposed to lube the O-rings because we don't want a Challenger disaster on our hands. Got to get the O-rings. Richard Feynman taught us about that, didn't he? Remember Richard Feynman? He was a famous physicist who weighed in on why the Challenger disaster happened.
not enough lube on the O-rings.
Well, the O-rings froze, I think. They were not designed to withstand the thermal conditions of launch, I guess. So they became rigid and they cracked as a result of the low temperature. So it was a materials problem. Materials not being tested in at the proper temperature. This is the wrong bit. The wrong bit for the hose clamp.
Yes, we started. All right, everybody. We might be in the home stretch here.
Yeah, so I did all the crimps, which is not that fun. And right now I have every valve turned off so that the pump can get to pressure equilibrium first. So we're going to switch on the pump. All right, so the filter medium is filling.
Where was it stuck to?
Which is stuck here.
Does that mean this is a magnetic wall?
There's a bunch of water filling this.
Like the tank's filling?
The tank is filling.
This thing?
I think
That's filling?
Yeah, I think I'd like to get a strap and strap it to the wall.
Okay.
If we have to, but let's do a little. Let's have a look.
Has it ran for long enough?
I don't know. Tastes good.
We still have the other glass. You want to go do the comparison?
Yeah. This is the unfiltered from this morning on this one. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's quite a bit less iron flavored. Want to try it?
This is bad.
Do you notice a difference?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty significant.
It doesn't smell as we think it's an iron smell.
Yeah.
Now this definitely is immediately more drinkable.
Yeah.
And hopefully it'll only get better once it fully filters through. Or do you think this is it?
No, I don't know. I'm not sure.
I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
I'm not like, this is the best water I ever drank in my life.
Right. It's still pretty good.
It's not like New York City tap, which is it's the best.
Yeah, it's still hard. It still has a high mineral content. But
Does that mean we also want a softener?
no. I mean, because then you get into having to maintain a softener, which is kind of annoying.
Like salt packs and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're making progress as a family here.
Yeah. Chin chin. Chin chin. Okay, everyone. We're going to try exploring the space above in the store. We know that there's been a history of some leaks. We can see, leaks here, and then there's other spots in the ceiling that clearly have had some water damage. So
This is the roof we can
yeah, and we know that
catch with our heads.
we got an inspection report after we bought the house from the people who didn't buy the house, and it showed a picture of buckets in the ceiling. So we're gonna see
What that's all about.
if that's true and how much water is in them, and et cetera, et cetera. And also, yeah, let's see what's up there.
All right, so that's the entry to the roof. And just go light.
All right, so here we go. Ooh, cobwebs. Nah, it's okay. It's all right. Ooh, there's even looks like a light up here. That's no, it's not on, but there's a bulb with some kind of, yeah, anyway, there is a way to turn a light on up here.
That's not at all what I expected.
Yeah. All right, hand that camera up here. Let's see what we got. Oh, look at this.
There we go.
Would you look at this? Yeah, there definitely are buckets.
Okay.
But
Far away. Does it smell musty? What's the smell?
no, it smells. Wow, there's a lot of wasp nests, like historic wasp nests. You can see all these white areas where mud hornets have found a home in here. It's interesting. And it's an old whiskey bottle.
Really?
Yeah, whiskey bottle. Yeah. But yeah, let me. I'm gonna go up here and see what I can do.
Like you're gonna walk on there.
Yeah, I mean, you can get up here. The joists look pretty big. They're big, beefy, non-dimensional 2x6s.
Too heavy. Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's like a whole world up here.
It's a whole world. There's a lot of space up here. Really interesting bracing across here. You see those big X-shaped cross beams up there. It's kind of an interesting truss structure that they put up there. It's kind of cool.
What are you pointing at?
Look, do you see the diagonals cutting across the chimney? Yeah, cutting across the chimney. It's kind of interesting.
Keep it from.
And that chimney is supported by the ceiling. Like the chimney does not extend below. So yeah, it's pretty interesting.
That part of the chimney. I guess it was
Well, no, they never took down there was no chimney coming below that. That's how these were designed.
You mean?
Yeah, so you can see while there are buckets up here, they are dry, even though it's the spring and there's been a fair amount of rain. I don't see any evidence at all of water. So that's kind of fascinating. So it's kind of hard to understand whether maybe repairs were done on the roof and these predate those repairs, or maybe it just doesn't leak very much and so the water dries out really fast.
Maybe if you did paint
And
Rust-Oleum, that would work.
maybe it would. But this is very cool. This cross truss in the center like this. And I guess it's here to stabilize the part of the roof that has this giant chimney. And you've got this chimney whose load is spread across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 joists. So they took these big long boards and they spanned a whole bunch of the ceiling joists, rafters, maybe they're called rafters. And that's enough to support the weight of this chimney, because the chimney, we believe, never extended below this point. Because what you see in the ceiling is just a stovepipe hole. Yeah, this is the exterior wall of the house right here. And it's just a board thickness. There's no framing. It's literally just boards. There's no framing on the end wall. Like when I look at this, oops, they really put some paper thin strips of wood up here. I'm pretty sure that's just siding that's just a layer of tar paper and then siding nailed to boards. So it's board and batten with zero structural elements in it. The board and batten is the structure, which is crazy. But I mean, this whole thing kind of explains why it feels like the house is tilted, like racking. Because there's really not much like stiffening the overall structure. That big X in the middle is probably like one of the main stiffeners that's keeping this thing from slipping from side to side.
This is a great fridge. It's just got like lots of rust, I guess, on it. It's old, but it still works.
Yeah. Just gotten dinged.
It's deep. It's sturdy. I don't know. We bought a new fridge when we redid our kitchen in Norfolk, and we don't really love it. It's just kind of,
yeah. New fridges are hard.
I don't know. It feels mediocre, and so at the
good
end
ones,
of the day,
the good ones are hard to find.
yeah, I feel like the good ones are these old ones that they just built them to last, and
Yeah, this is a GE, no frost,
GE no frost.
20.5 cubic foot refrigerator freezer, TBX.
But so we'd like to keep the fridge, and I was searching around the internet for like how can you spruce up a fridge, and I found a lot of other DIYers who basically took contact paper and kind of contact papered the fridge to just cover up the crap and zhuzh it up.
Yeah.
So we bought this pale pink, which I'm going to call 1842 Parisian Rose. We found all these paint cans in the general store, and the paint color is this 1842 Parisian Rose, which is probably why this color was in my mind. When I was seeing what they had at the contact store, I thought, yes, that pale dusty pink is going to be just perfect. So we're just supposed to...
We're going to do it in horizontal stripes
I
or
don't know, we have
vertical
to
stripes?
decide if we're going to do it in horizontals and match it up, or verticals and match it up.
I think verticals
feel
might
like-
be, well, I guess
I don't know, I
horizontals.
feel like in this part, this horizontal would make more sense,
Yeah.
because otherwise you'll have this kind of like line there, or like more subtly here.
Yeah.
So I think we should try horizontal.
All right. Well, let's.
I don't know, it could be a disaster. The people on the internet, hats off to you. You made it look easy enough that I thought we could do that. So let's see, can we do that?
All right.
Okay, putting the handles back on is the final step, and then we'll walk you through some of the victories and some of the defeats. My general takeaway is that it looks much better. It looked like a rusty piece of garbage, and now it looks like an imperfect pink dress. We're
Yeah.
now calling this the wrinkled pink dress.
Yeah, it does. It does have a few crinkles in it.
A few flaws. I don't know if we can. So the video that I watched, the thing that I had trouble understanding was like the seams where you put one on top of the other, and could I overlap? Could you see them? And so we ended up overlapping, just like putting the one contact paper on top of another. And it's pretty hard to see the seams.
Yeah.
Like, it's very, very subtle. So in that sense, this worked really well in that you don't, if it's not perfectly straight, you can't really see the line very much. So when you just look at it, you barely even notice it. If you look closely, you can see the line, but for the most part, overlapping really works. Our first rollout was over here, and it was like perfect with no bubbles, no anything. And so we felt really confident, like, oh, that was no big deal. No bubbles, no anything. The second one also, no bubbles. Like, this was our second one we put up.
Yeah.
For some reason, when we got here, it got all janky and crazy, and we couldn't make it get all the bubbles out, and then I got kind of, maybe it got a little nicked, and then it kind of made some lines.
Yeah.
And then after that, everything we did was kind of janky. So I don't know what happened or why.
Yeah.
We were so awesome in some situations.
See the
and then,
I'm calling them varicose veins.
yeah, that's a good one.
They're
It's either a wrinkled pink dress or a varicose vein.
I think it kind of adds a little texture, you know. It's kind of
character.
like it's like fleshy, you know.
Right.
Fleshy
with
pink.
This pretty Parisian dusty rose. All right, back in place.
Are we happy?
One other thing I was thinking about was the other video I watched. The woman did it alone, and I feel like doing this alone would have been a total disaster. I don't know how she did that. Like, you just kind of need one person to hold while the other person. We use this drywall knife. I don't know if this was the ideal tool.
It might have been too stiff.
Yeah, I don't know. What would have been better, do you think? Because you kept saying my arm is better than this.
Yeah, something a little softer. I just feel like this is kind of unforgiving.
Yeah.
At one point, this sliced through and made a hole, which was kind of annoying. So
Maybe like a paintbrush or something? Would that work?
maybe stiff brush.
A stiff brush?
Stiff brush. It's probably you know, I don't know, credit cards, something flexible.
Oh, that would have been good.
This isn't very flexible.
All right, so 2 people, not a drywall knife, maybe a credit card, maybe a stiff brush, and tolerance for imperfection.
Yeah. But it's better than a rusty fridge.
Better than a rusty fridge.
And you know, it's got a little character.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we're in the farmhouse, and this is the right bedroom if you're looking at the house. Not bedroom, this is the right downstairs room. And this is the one where they tried to put in a flat modern floor. According to the previous owner, they did so by building inside the walls on separate footings. So basically we have a standalone floating floor that is on its own footings, separate from whatever brick piers and everything else, and even the structure of the house. So you may not be able to see it, but the house right here has about a 2 or 3 degree pitch. The floor is level. And so just given the way it's built and given our desire to raise the house, this floor is going to have to go. And we also have to expose all the plaster, take all the plaster and lath off and get to the structure so that the house lifting company can have a look at the interior structure and make sure that everything is solid enough to be able to lift the house. So we're going to continue demo in this room, and then the plan is to do demo on this floor and demo on the floor in the room opposite so we can get to all the structure underneath. And unfortunately, that means all this new work has to go. All right, making good progress on the plaster. One thing that's kind of fun, if you look up here, you can see these little bits that are kind of dangling. And you can see there's, in the plaster, there's little fibers. And I believe that's horsehair. I believe that as a stiffener, back in the day, or not as a stiffener, but as a way of giving the plaster a little more staying power, both when applying it, but also after it's done to keep it from cracking and falling. They used horsehair. So checking out the wallpaper here. This is, I don't know, the house is from 1860, so this is a second layer of wallpaper over the original. And this is not coming off very cleanly. We have some other sections that we're saving. We're going to try to do something creative with, but you can see this is two different wallpapers. So there's the one underneath it, and it's just very cool to think about this being hung up prior to the Civil War. That's just totally wacky that it's that old, and I'm kind of curious how they made it. It looks like maybe it was rolled on, like you can see kind of it kind of looks like it was printed on with rollers or something, or maybe like a giant stamp, I don't know, with different layers of color stamped on. So early production techniques, but pretty cool wallpaper. Got a fun little mystery. There's something jingling and jangling around up here. Can you hear that? So it sounds like maybe glass or pottery or something like that. So I'm gonna try to carefully liberate it, see what we can find. I see some, looks like porcelain shards. Ooh. Interesting. The shards of very thin porcelain. And then another fun treat is I found a big hunk of mud. Looks like mud wasps. There's some sort of creepy mystery up here. Yeah.
Like an old sheet.
I don't know.
Is it gonna be like a dead body?
Yeah, I hope not. It's probably some kind of rodent nesting.
Ah.
Definitely an old piece of printed fabric of some kind. Ooh, interesting.
Is that a bonnet?
Looks like a bonnet.
Ooh, ooh.
Looks like an old bonnet.
An old bonnet. I don't know why that creeps me out. Why is an old bonnet
I
so
don't know.
creepy?
Neat. Wow.
Mrs. Callis lost her bonnet.
You can see the old, those stitches. Can't tell if this is handmade. Oh yeah, yeah. You can see all the hand stitching in here.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's a handmade bonnet. Oh yeah, and it's got the little stiffener. That's the front. That is neat.
Would you like to put it on?
And it's got all this, it looks like rodent urine or something. Something was using it as a nest. All right, we found something else strange poking through.
Hopefully it's not as creepy as a bonnet. I don't know why I find a bonnet so
But it's colorful, whatever it is. Let's see what this is. Oh, it's an old matchbox. What does that say?
The race match.
Let's bring it closer to the camera.
What? Hold on, it says the race match. Let me see, there's Indian, Mongolian, Caucasian in the middle, Negro, Malay. No one uses the term Malay,
Huh.
do they?
Fascinating.
Wow. And I think I saw a date. Hold on. July 26th, 1870. 1870.
Wow.
Wow.
Why would
Matches
this
from
be?
1870.
Why would this be on the front of a matchbox?
I don't know. It's so wild.
What were they thinking?
I mean, it's colorful.
It's
Like,
colorful.
it's a very attractive matchbox.
It really
So
is.
vibrant.
But it's like, I guess this really captured people's imagination. This idea that there were distinct races, obviously.
Well, it's right after the Civil War, so I wonder if there's some kind of. Everyone's trying to reckon. Sorry, I guess everyone's trying to reckon with sort of a world of different races when there aren't slaves and what that looks like or something.
Right, right.
I don't know.
Like it's almost like the Civil War was understood as part of the contest between races or something. I don't know. That's not the way it was understood by most people, but like,
Well, I don't see this as looking like a contest.
well, what does match mean?
Well, it's their matches, matchsticks.
Right.
So,
So why
it's
is
a
it the?
match.
But it's like a play on words. The race match, like they're matching off against each
maybe.
other. I don't know.
I didn't think of it that way. I don't know.
Weird.
I have to do a little research and see what I can
Yeah.
figure out.
Fascinating.